Welcome to this intriguing Bible quiz based on the book of Joshua. Dive into this ancient book of the Bible with our 25 thought-provoking questions crafted to test your Bible knowledge. Think you're ready to ace it? Let's find out. Don't forget to hit subscribe to support us and stay updated with more quizzes. Comment below with your score and share your thoughts on the quiz. Are you ready? Let's begin. Who became the leader of the Israelites after Moses died? Was it A, Isaac, B, Joshua, C, Jacob, or D, Abraham? You've got 10 seconds. Let's go. The answer is B, Joshua. From Joshua 1 verses 1 to 2. God appointed Joshua to lead the Israelites after Moses' death, saying, "Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people." Joshua's courage and faith exemplified God's choice to guide his people into the promised land. This shows us the importance of being ready to step into leadership when God calls. Which tribe of Israel did Joshua belong to? Was it A, Levi, B, Judah, C, Ephraim, or D, Benjamin? Take your time. 10 seconds on the clock. The answer is C, Ephraim, from Numbers 13 verse 8. Joshua was the son of Nun from the tribe of Ephraim. His lineage reflects God's use of ordinary people for extraordinary tasks. Joshua's leadership as a representative of Ephraim symbolizes the importance of unity among God's people. What river did the Israelites cross to enter the Promised Land? Was it A, Nile, B, Tigris, C, Jordan, or D, Euphrates? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is C, Jordan, from Joshua 3 verse 17. The Israelites crossed the Jordan on dry ground as God miraculously stopped the river's flow. This event highlights God's faithfulness in leading his people to their inheritance. It reminds us to trust God to make a way where there seems to be none. Before crossing the Jordan River, what ceremony did Joshua command the Israelites to perform? Was it A, circumcision, B, build a memorial, C, offer a sacrifice, or D, sing a song of praise? Take your 10 seconds. The answer is A, circumcision, from Joshua 5 verse 2. Joshua re-established the covenant with God through circumcision, a symbolic act of spiritual renewal and obedience. This reminds us to consecrate ourselves to God before stepping into new beginnings. After crossing the Jordan River, what did Joshua set up as a memorial? Was it A, an altar, B, 12 stones, C, a tabernacle, or D, a well? You've got 10 seconds to decide. The answer is B, 12 stones, from Joshua 4 verse 7. Joshua set up 12 stones as a memorial to remind future generations of God's miraculous work in parting the Jordan River. This teaches us the importance of remembering and sharing our testimonies of God's faithfulness. How many spies did Joshua send to scout Jericho? Was it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5? Tick-tock, you've got 10 seconds. The answer is A. 2. From Joshua 2 verse 1. Joshua sent 2 spies to scout Jericho, demonstrating strategic preparation and trust in God. Their mission, aided by Rahab, revealed the importance of collaboration in fulfilling God's plans. Who helped the 2 spies sent by Joshua to Jericho? Was it A. Ruth, B. Miriam, C. Rahab, or D. Deborah? You've got 10 seconds. Good luck. The answer is C. Rahab, from Joshua 2 verse 4. Rahab's faith led her to hide the spies, recognizing God's power. Despite her background, her actions aligned with God's plan, teaching us that faith in God transforms lives and brings redemption. Who tied a red cord in her window to protect her family during the attack on Jericho? Was it A. Leah, B. Rahab, C. Abigail, or D. Michael? Your 10 seconds start now. The answer is B. Rahab, from Joshua 2 verse 21. Rahab tied the red cord as a sign of her agreement with the spies, symbolizing protection and salvation. This foreshadows the blood of Jesus, which brings redemption and deliverance to those who believe. Where did Rahab hide the spies sent by Joshua? Was it A. in a well, B. under a basket, C. underneath the bed, or D. under stalks of flax? Think fast. You've got 10 seconds. The answer is D. under stalks of flax, from Joshua 2 verse 6. Rahab hid the spies under flax on her roof, demonstrating courage and faith in helping God's people. Her story reminds us to act boldly in faith when serving God's purposes. What was Rahab's occupation? Was it A. servant, B. weaver, C. prostitute, or D. farmer? Let's see how well you know this. 10 seconds. The answer is C. prostitute, from Joshua 2 verse 1. Rahab's faith led to her role in God's plan despite her profession. Her inclusion in the lineage of Jesus demonstrates God's grace and the power of redemption. How many days did the Israelites march around the walls of Jericho before they fell? Was it A. 7, B. 8, C. 10, or D. 12? You've got 10 seconds. Make it count. The answer is A. 7, from Joshua 6 verses 15 to 16. The Israelites obeyed God by marching for 7 days, and on the 7th day, they marched 7 times before the walls fell. This teaches us the power of obedience and perseverance in faith. Where did the sun stand still at Joshua's request? Was it A. Bethel, B. Gibeon, C. Valley of Ajalon, or D. Waters of Jordan? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is B. Gibeon, from Joshua 10 verse 12. God stopped the sun over Gibeon to grant the Israelites victory in battle. This miraculous event demonstrates God's power over creation and His willingness to intervene for His people. Where did the moon stop during Joshua's prayer? Was it A. Gibeon, B. Brook of Kidron, C. Valley of Ajalon, or D, waters of Jordan? Take your 10 seconds. The answer is C, Valley of Ajalon, from Joshua 10 verse 13. The moon stood still over the Valley of Ajalon as part of God's miraculous intervention. This highlights God's control over time and his commitment to his people's success. Who were the primary inhabitants of the Promised Land that the Israelites had to fight? Was it A, Moabites, B, Philistines, C, Amalekites, or D, Canaanites? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is D, Canaanites, from Joshua 1 verses 3 to 4. The Canaanites were strong inhabitants of the land, but God's guidance enabled the Israelites to conquer them. This teaches us that God's power is greater than any obstacle. Who disobeyed God by taking spoils from Jericho, leading to Israel's defeat at Ai? Was it A, Uzzah, B, Achan, C, Korah, or D, Jobal? Time's ticking, 10 seconds. The answer is B, Achan, from Joshua 7 verse 1. Achan's disobedience in taking forbidden spoils led to Israel's defeat. His actions highlight the consequences of sin and the importance of obeying God's commands. Which group deceived Joshua and the Israelites into making a peace treaty with them? Was it A, Jebusites, B, Perizzites, C, Canaanites, or D, Gibeonites? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is D, Gibeonites, from Joshua 9 verses 14 to 15. The Gibeonites tricked Israel because they failed to seek God's counsel. This teaches us to rely on God's wisdom in every decision. Which army did Joshua defeat with the help of miraculous hailstones? Was it A, Amalekites, B, Gibeonites, C, Philistines, or D, Amorites? Make your choice. 10 seconds. The answer is D, Amorites, from Joshua 10 verse 11. God sent hailstones to defeat the Amorites, killing more than the Israelites did by sword. This highlights God's power to fight for his people in miraculous ways. Who inherited the land of Hebron when the Israelites settled in the Promised Land? Was it A, Caleb, B, Mer, C, Joshua, or D, no one? Think carefully. You've got 10 seconds. The answer is A, Caleb, from Joshua 14, verse 13. Caleb's faithfulness to God resulted in his inheritance of Hebron. His story reminds us that God rewards those who wholly follow him. Where did Joshua gather the Israelites to renew their covenant with God? Was it A, Bethel, B, Jerusalem, C, Shechem, or D, Shiloh? Your 10 seconds start now. The answer is C, Shechem, from Joshua 24 verse 25. Joshua led the Israelites in renewing their covenant at Shechem, emphasizing the importance of recommitting to God's faithfulness and commands. What did Joshua build on Mount Ebal as commanded by Moses? Was it A, an idol, B, an altar, C, a city, or D, a temple? Time's ticking. 10 seconds. The answer is B, an altar, from Joshua 8 verses 30 to 31. Joshua built an altar on Mount Ebal, symbolizing Israel's dedication to worshiping God and following His commands. This act demonstrated obedience and reverence for God. How did God kill the Amorites during their battle with Israel? Was it A, boils, B, 2 angels, C, lightning bolts, or D, large hailstones? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is D, large hailstones, from Joshua 10 verse 11. During the battle with the Amorites, the Lord cast down hailstones from heaven, killing more enemies than the Israelites did with the sword. This miraculous intervention demonstrated God's power to protect His people and secure victory. It reminds us that God is actively involved in the battles we face and that His strength is far greater than any challenge. Where did Joshua divide the land among the tribes of Israel? Was it A, Shiloh, B, Bethel, C, Jericho, or D, Jerusalem? Take your time. 10 seconds on the clock. The answer is A, Shiloh, from Joshua 18 verse 1. The whole congregation of Israel assembled at Shiloh, where Joshua divided the land among the tribes. Shiloh was significant because the tabernacle was set up there, symbolizing God's presence and His faithfulness in fulfilling His promises. This teaches us to acknowledge God's provision and to seek His guidance in distributing responsibilities and blessings fairly. How many tribes of Israel did Joshua divide the promised land among? Was it A, 10, B, 12, C, 13, or D, 14? Let's see how well you know this. 10 seconds. The answer is B, 12, from Joshua 14, verse 5. Joshua divided the land among the 12 tribes of Israel, excluding Levi, whose inheritance was the Lord's priesthood. To maintain the count of 12, the tribe of Joseph was divided into Ephraim and Manasseh. This division reflects God's wisdom and order in blessing His people and reminds us that each of us has a specific role to play in His plan. How old was Joshua when he died? Was it A, 110, B, 103, C, 98, or D, 95? You've got 10 seconds. Think carefully. The answer is A, 110, from Joshua 24 verse 29. Joshua lived to the age of 110, faithfully serving God throughout his life. He led the Israelites in conquering and settling the Promised Land. His long life and fruitful leadership remind us that God rewards faithfulness and obedience, and Joshua's legacy encourages us to persevere in serving the Lord with all our heart. Where was Joshua buried? Was it A, Gilgal, B, Shiloh, C, Shechem, or D, Timnath-Serah? Your 10 seconds start now. The answer is D, Timnath-Serah, from Joshua 24 verse 30. Joshua was buried in the land of his inheritance, Timnath-Serah, located in the mountains of Ephraim. His burial in the Promised Land symbolizes the completion of God's promises to him and the nation of Israel. This reminds us that God is faithful to fulfill His word and that our lives should reflect faithfulness and dedication to His will. Wow, we have come to the end of the quiz. Well done, and thank you so much for joining us on this Bible quiz. How did you do? Let us know in the comments. Share your score and what you thought of the quiz. We'd love to hear from you. Before you go, please don't forget to subscribe for more Bible quizzes and faith-filled content. And of course, share this quiz with others so we can all grow in our walk with Christ together.